Good morning, YouTube family. It's Coach Erica Janelle coming before you this Monday morning. I hope everybody had an amazing weekend. I'm sorry, it's Tuesday morning. I took the day off yesterday. So for me, it's Monday. But wanted to come before you guys and just hope that you guys are still focusing on the things that you were working towards in 2021, any new projects that you've launched this year, any new visions and dreams that you have for yourself. Just wanted to encourage you to continue on your path and on your process. But while you're doing that, making sure that you take some time to really work through whatever issues, whatever challenges, whatever limitations you've placed on yourself last year, so that those same things won't creep into this new year in your life. And that means if it's somebody that you need to forgive, if it's a fear or inadequacies, things that you needed to still work on in order to build your confidence, to even be able to walk into the manifestation of the things that you're believing for. I need you guys to really stay focused and make sure you do the inner work. It's so important to take time and really just be honest with yourself, be honest with God, be honest with the people around you, and realize where your limitations are and where you could be better. Every day we should be striving to become a better version of ourselves. And oftentimes our biggest enemy can be ourselves. We can walk in denial. We can pretend that we don't know that we have a certain issue. So say for instance, you have trust issues, and you know that those trust issues hinder you from being able to truly embrace new friendships and new love opportunities or new business opportunities. So if you know that you have trust issues, instead of just embracing that you have trust issues, start doing the inner work to really be honest with yourself and examine how you want to continue the rest of your life. Because what you don't want is your own blockages to be the very thing that stops you from proceeding and progressing to that next level. I know for me, I've had to definitely work through trust issues. So that's why that was the first thing that comes out of my mouth, because it's something I still work through. And it's not an illegitimized reason why I don't trust people. It's very legitimate, but I can't hold anybody else responsible for what others have done to me. They are held responsible for what they do. Nobody from my past gets to dictate anybody from my present or anybody from my future. And so I have to make a conscious effort to open myself up and be vulnerable, and not just with anybody. It's you have to use your intuition and your common sense to know who you can be vulnerable with and who you cannot. But it's very important to at least be honest with yourself and recognize that that's an issue. You don't know what's on the other side of that healing in that area once you get to that place where you've opened yourself up. There are business opportunities that can open up for you. There's love opportunities that can open up for you. There are so many doors and so many things that can open up for you when you take those blockages off your heart and you take those blockages out of your life. So trust could be an issue. Another issue could be if you're not honest, a dishonest person. That's like really a pet peeve of mine. I prefer for people to be honest with me and tell me the straight up, unadulterated, raw, uncut, unfiltered truth than to lie. I cannot stand a liar. But if you lie, and that's something that you know you do, or you stretch the truth, or you omit the truth, either way, it's still a lie. And you realize that those things that you have done have hurt people or have caused you to lack in that area of your character. It needs to be something that you're honest with yourself about. Don't hide it and sugarcoat it or pretend that it's not there and put up these walls and these blocks and these excuses for why you are where you are. The only true opportunity for change is when you actually are honest with yourself. When you're honest with yourself, then you can walk in the manifestation of the things that you're believing for. And the thing is, whatever that issue is. I just gave 2 examples, but whatever that issue is, it's not worth hindering what God has for you in the future. And so it's very important to be honest with yourself. Do the inner work. If you don't know how to do the inner work on your own, the first step is being honest with yourself. Maybe writing down all of those things that you realize are areas that have held you back. And it could be something that's held you back since your childhood. I know for me, trust has been one of those things that's been held back for me since childhood because of my experiences and my journey. And so you have to be honest with yourself. And if the writing it out and really just releasing it doesn't do it for you, then maybe you need to go to therapy. Whatever that is, be honest with yourself and start there, because we've got amazing things that God wants to do for us this year. And I don't want to see anyone not walking in their full potential. I actually did something last night that I typically will do when I know I've been carrying or I've been feeling a little heavy about certain things. I have a process that I do for releasing things. And so I did it even last night. I wrote out all of the things, all of the areas of anger or bitterness or resentment or things that were hindering me from being in the place where I wanted to be mentally and emotionally, and I released it. So what I did was I wrote all of those things down on a sheet of paper, and some of those things were even hard to admit to myself. I wrote them down on a piece of paper and I said them out loud, and when I said those things, I said, I choose to release blah blah blah, whatever those things were. And after I released them, I burned them. And in my mind and in my journey, that meant it's done. Those things will no longer be a part of my life and hinder me from reaching my potential in whatever areas. And it's a good practice to do this. You know, everybody has their own method. That works for me because when I see that paper burn, to me, that means it's done. It's ashes. I could not put those things back together if I wanted to. It's basically completely obliterated. And for me, when I do that process, I literally feel the weight and the pressure of those things come off of me. And so I want to encourage you guys to do the same thing. Whatever your things are that are hindering you from reaching your full potential or from getting to the next level where you want to get to, whether it's emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually, educationally, relationally, whatever it is, I need you to release those things so that you can walk in the full manifestation of what you're supposed to have. This is the stuff that we can do right now. It's not something where it takes you to go book a therapist and find somebody that you like. This is something you can do and take control of your own life and put it into your own hands. And it's something that I have created as a practice, I would say probably for the last couple of years. And the things that I release are different. Some of the things that I've released before were not things that occurred to me when I wrote out that list last night. But I knew those things had me feeling kind of heavy. And it was hindering me from really being able to walk in peace and walk in joy and walk in the fullness of who I am as a person. I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to hold unforgiveness. That's just not the way I want to live my life. And so in order for me to do that and release those things, I had to make that practical, conscious effort to release those things. That's my process. Everybody's process may be different, but I encourage you guys to find your process. I also, did a cleanse of my spirit and just prayed and meditated. And those are things that I do. That's my practice. That's what I do to clear my energy, because I don't want anything blocking my blessings. I have a lot of things that I've told you guys. I've got some things to share with you, some things that's coming up, and I'm super excited about it. And I don't want anything to hinder me from walking in the full manifestation of what I'm supposed to have. So I just wanted to encourage you guys with that. I love you guys very much. I hope you have an amazing week. I will try to come before you guys again this week and do another video. I am working on the podcast. I have not forgotten about the podcasts, but with the podcast is something super exciting coming, and I want to kind of announce it when I have everything set in stone. But it's gonna be really, really good, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. I love you guys. Have an amazing week, and I'll be seeing you again. Thanks. Bye.